Peace, everybody. Welcome once again. Mikey-Ice doing a live interview with a special B-boy guest, or from Circle Fire. Exceptional dancer, though, so I'm really excited to get into this. Yeah. Let's see who we got. Monica. Hello. I'm waiting for my friend so we can do an interview. He is a great dancer. Monica, how you doing? Dang, everybody's on here today. What's up? I got my man Orb. Orb, let's see if I can get you on here though, bro. Let's see. Let me add you. Or can you add me? Let's see. Cool. What's up, Richie?
What up, what up?
Oh, there we go. What's happening, Orb?
Yo, peace. What up,
All
Mike?
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
this is good though, man. I'm glad I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
able to get a chance to catch up with you because now when I think about it, as long
Yeah.
as you've been breaking, we never met personally though. When I think about that,
Right, right. Yeah, no,
and I
I will remember you.
yeah, and I remember seeing you like at Alpha Fame, like San Jose when you guys battled. It was Circle Fire versus Flexible Flav, and you guys
Oh
battled the
man.
Rhythm Bugs in the final.
Right.
I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, word. Nice.
So I just kind of wanted to know, like, can you refresh me? Like, how did you first get into hip hop?
How did I get into hip hop, man? It's been around me since forever, since I was 5 years old. As
Oh,
long as I
five.
can
Okay.
remember it. Yeah, I grew up in Pasadena, California. And
Oh, snap. Okay.
hip hop was big back in the 80s before it died out
Mm-hmm.
again and then came back. But back then, my sisters and stuff were doing it. And then I had a couple of, homies that lived at the end of the block. They would dress up in the Adidas suits and Puma suits or
Yeah.
whatever, bring out the boombox. And I was doing my little hand spin on my mom's catalog papers out of the magazine. I would rip that out of the magazine. So yeah, man, it's been around. It's been around me forever. But
So you got into breaking when how old were you?
when I was breaking, I was probably 5, 6 years old. Then I stopped, and th-
Dang.
and then I started breaking again in junior high school.
Okay. I
Yeah,
started
yeah.
breaking when I started breaking when I was like 12. I got the
Okay,
name Mikey-Ice when I was 12. I was
that's what's
already
up.
doing other dances, which was like locking and roboting.
Nice.
But when I seen B Street, that's when I knew, like, you know what? I need to get a
Yep.
name for myself.
That's what's up. B Street was the
Right.
the movie, man. That was kind of like all of our hip hop movie bibles back then, right? Like
Yeah.
to
You
to
know
get
the
the
cool
fun.
thing? You know what the cool thing about that orb is that
Yeah,
let's say maybe about like 3 months ago, I had a chance to really have conversations with Lee.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Nice.
we were talking, communicating like on a regular basis. He will call me, I will call him.
Yeah.
And I remember as a kid though, like Lee to me was like the way that people look at Ken Swift today.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm
Nice.
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Cause you remember when he came in, he's like, yo, I got the one side gonna say, B Street, other side gonna have curvy lines.
Dope.
So me being a shorty though, when I seen that on the screen, I want to be like that though. For some reason, I wanted to be like his energy was just really, it was really dope. He was always like stylish. He always had the top to bottom
Woo.
Puma outfits,
Nice.
Cazelles. He had the nameplate belt that said Lee.
Styling. Yo, he was
Yeah,
styling, man. That was man, I I,
yeah,
I couldn't afford any of that
me either.
growing up, right?
Yeah, me either. Only the rich kids could come to school with the Puma jackets on, to be honest with you, because I remember
Yeah.
The Puma jackets back then are probably at least like $50 or $60.
Yeah, wow, right? Yeah, way
Yeah,
too expensive, but it was a dream.
right. Yeah, for a 12-year-old kid to like want a $60
Right.
jacket and some like $70 Pumas. My dad was like, "Nah, we'll get you something at Kmart. That should do it."
Right? Or the
Yeah,
local swap meet.
yeah.
That's
So,
what's
Orb,
up.
you know what? I
Yeah.
wanted to say though too, like when I first seen the Circle Fire video, I was really impressed because like I noticed like your style, it was something that I never seen though before because I noticed you spend a lot of time like on your head, like doing head
Right.
slides and like a lot of balancing. And I was kind of curious, so like what made you get into that style instead of just doing traditional up rock and then footwork or like what made you want to go that way?
Yeah, man. Being all the way up here in the Northwest, for one, because I moved here back in '96, to Seattle is where I'm
Okay.
at. And then that's where I met my crew. We were so isolated, so we didn't have a lot of influence as opposed to like the videos that we watched. But I would
Right.
have to give a shout out to ET, one of the homies
Yeah.
that's in my crew, and pretty much the rest of my crew. Man, we all pretty much influenced each other to try to go outside of the box to create.
Mm.
But the one thing that definitely got me to my head was having messed up knees, man. Like
Oh, that's the
I have
knees. Okay.
to say, yeah, I have to say that to like basketball, playing basketball throughout, junior high school and stuff too. When I got out of high school, my legs were super whack. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like trying to
Okay.
dance and put that much energy into the dance. So when I did that, man, I was having these knee issues and stuff, which a lot of athletes at that time would have. And back then I didn't have insurance or anything like that, so I just kind of rehabilitated my knees myself. But that hindered me
Okay.
from doing footwork. So I
Oh,
really
man.
admire footwork. Like I love footwork. I have used to have some of my favorite b boys that rock footwork, including my own crewmate Free, from Circle of Fire. And
Yeah.
so when I would try to go and do that, man, it was just I didn't have proper training, so I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna try a new style, man. I didn't want to stop from dancing, doing power, doing other creative moves. So I would just go into my head and focus on that. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this style, see what this getting on my head style is about. So yeah, that's kind
Okay.
of like the gist of it, pretty much. I would have to attribute it to knee injuries.
Yeah, because when I would watch it, I really enjoyed it, but I noticed like you did very minimum footwork, but everything was
Right.
just really like, it was like from the top. It was just boom, instantly head slide, catch it, go up, catch it, go up, and head slide this
Right.
way, then you will stick up with the last
Right.
pose. And I used to think like, that is dope, and
Yeah.
I was really impressed with the other brother too named Moses.
Yeah. That's my cousin.
Yeah,
We both
whatever
came up
happened to
from
him?
yeah, he's still around. He's still around. Moses is still around. He lives here in Seattle. We
Uh-huh.
we both came to Seattle together from Vegas, so we're both from Vegas. And so like
Oh,
that's the other place that I grew up in through, junior high school and high school. And we had our crews there. We had a group called Psycho Legion Breakers, mostly Filipinos,
man.
one Japanese cat, and we brought that up here to Seattle, tried to continue to break it up here. So yeah.
What's up, Peru? What's up? And give a shout out to everybody that's on right now. Respect to my
Word.
homeboys.
Yo, Croft in the
Um,
house. Solomon in the
yeah,
house. My
yeah.
sister's in the house. Rochelle, what's up, bro?
Yeah, give your shouts out, bro. Yeah, that's what's up. Hey,
Yeah.
Orb, I want to ask you, where did you get the
Yeah.
name Orb? I got the name Mikey-Ice because I was really inspired by the DJ Mixmaster Ice
That's
from
dope.
UTFO.
Yep.
So
Yep. That's
everything was
dope.
like Mixmaster Ice, Fresh Kid Ice, Icy Ice, you know, Mr. Freeze, Frosty Freeze. So I wanted to be a part of that group. So I decided, my friends actually decided to call me Mikey Ice,
Mm, nice.
because everything was about ice. So I
Right.
was kind of wondering, like, where did you get the name orb? Because when I think about orbs, I think about the energy, like the orbs that you would see.
Mm, that's right.
The
Yeah,
orbs that you would see, like when you would take a photo or you would see like a video camera, you would see these little orbs behind them.
that's right. Yeah, man. That's it has a spiritual meaning to me. And I grew up
Okay.
in Baptist church, Christian church back in the day and stuff. And you see the grandmother getting up, catching the Holy Ghost, and the energy just going through them, right? Like so.
Right.
I felt like that's what the b-boys b-girls be doing on the dance floor is catching that ghost and so I
Oh,
kind of
okay.
yeah, so I kind of translated into that, even though orb is a physical thing, I feel like that's kind of the shape that a spirit would make, like the energy that goes into you. If you were able to see
Yeah.
in that dimension, if you believe in that kind of stuff or whatever, then it would take the shape of orbs and stuff, and it's part of the
Oh,
whole woo woo kind of thing that's going on, but but I kind of took that as a physical manifestation of like my creative flow on the dance floor. Even though
okay.
I'm 6 feet, and as a 6 foot b-boy, we were kind of rare back in the day. I'm sure there's a lot more now, but I
Yeah.
wanted to have that energy where I'm a ball of energy and be able to translate that onto the dance floor. So
Oh
word,
man, thank you for sharing that. I would have never knew that until we had this interview. So you're
thanks,
enlightening,
appreciate it.
and that's why I appreciate this because even though I've been breaking, 25 years and longer, I'm a student because like it's like I'm going back and I'm relearning everything again, especially about the
I heard
dancers
that.
themselves.
Same,
So
yeah.
that's why I appreciate you sharing that with me because I would have never knew that. I thought it was just a name that you just ran with like orb. I didn't know it had
Right.
like a real meaning behind
Word, word. Yeah, and
it. Yeah,
that's yeah. And that's in hip hop and stuff too, sometimes the name is given to you, or most times it's given to you, by your peers and things like that. This
yeah,
name kind of just I just adopted it, and it's stuck with me over the years. So
right, right. Too, I wanted to share with you. I remember when I was in high school, the first time I really heard about Seattle getting put on the map is when me and my friends we would get dressed up with our polka dot shirts, our rayon pants, and we would go cruising. And my boy would be like, you know what? He's on throwing that Sir Mix-a-Lot. So we throwing that Sir Mix-a-Lot. My posse's on Broadway,
right.
and when I heard Sir Mix-a-Lot, I was like, this dude is like, yo, he's blowing Seattle up. You ever listen to
Classic.
Sir Mix-a-Lot back in the day?
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't really listen to him. I didn't even really know about him until I moved up to Seattle. Really, I was like, oh, Sir
Oh, okay.
Mix-a-Lot. That's right. He did the big butts and the, you know what I'm saying? You see, I didn't know he was from
Yeah,
Seattle because I had no idea. Like me and Latif, when me and Moses, we came up here to Seattle. We were basically just trying to get out of Vegas, and so we decided to go to school up here, not knowing anything about Seattle. And then I
okay.
found out about Sir Mix-a-Lot being from here. My posse's on Broadway, which is an area that
Yeah,
we used to frequent a lot. Right, right. My posse's on Broadway, so he's an icon and a legend. But when I got here, though, there was other icons and legends that like
yeah.
were even more underground. There was a group called Source of Labor. You got to give a
Okay,
shout
I
out.
heard of him.
Yeah, yeah, they're way underground, and Word Sayer, Jonathan, peace, rest in peace.
Hmm.
And their group was really pivotal in Seattle. Jason Black. There's so many classic heads. Who is it? DJ Supreme, also too. That's from Seattle, with a group
Okay.
called Sharpshooters and stuff. So yeah, there was a lot of classic hip hop. So when I got here, I discovered all that, and I was like, yo, Seattle's got it going on. Seattle's
Mm,
definitely got their history and stuff too. Massive Monkeys, and the list goes
right.
on. DVS Crew before Massive Monkeys, so the list goes
Yeah,
on.
I remember that. I remember that. I want to ask you, in your opinion, though, who is some of your favorite b-boys, like from like the '90s when you was coming up?
In the
Because I
90s.
had mine. Easy Rock was for me was just
Oh, Easy
like
Rock.
hands
Yeah.
down, bro. Because I got to see him live. Yeah,
Right,
I got to see
right.
him live. I wasn't watching him on VHSs and admiring him like when Radiotron was going down,
Yeah.
when the Summit was going down. I went to B-Boy Summit 3 and I got to see him live. So when I seen him doing forward with one hand both ways, in my mind I was like, yo, I kind of want to be swift like that. Okay.
Yeah,
So I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, like who were some of your favorites?
gotcha. So you cut out just a little bit, Mike, but I think I
Okay.
heard your question.
No, I was
Yeah, some
saying
of my
that for
favorite
me
in the night.
in the '90s. Yeah, who were some of your favorites in the '90s as far as b-boys when you would
Gotcha.
see them break?
My
Yeah.
favorite in the right, right. Well, I have to give a shout out to Ken Swift for sure, hands down. That was one of my favorites. Also B-Boy Ivan, Poison Ivy.
Okay.
The action figure. Had a lot of time in Vegas to connect with him and practice with him back in the day. Um, who else? Like people I didn't meet until later, like Abstract
I guess maybe
from Steel Method. You know what I'm saying? Love his
you might have just
footwork,
thought,
love his
like there was
flow.
like, yeah.
Of course,
Okay.
you can say the King. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was listening to you. You're gonna continue?
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It keeps cutting out. It's cutting out. It could be my internet too. So,
Yeah, I think your
yeah,
internet
yeah.
is a
Just
little bit slow.
yep, yep. Just to name a few, man. Easy Rock for sure, but I never met him before. I saw him dance on VHS, on TV, on tape. So,
Okay.
and then when I saw him at Summit, I was like, yo, dude is dope. Um, yeah, man. And yeah, I would just say I have to say just a few of those guys, but I also was influenced by like Mop Tops from New
Yeah.
York City, Brooklyn, New York and stuff too. So Khalid Sellers, Ejo Wilson and all
Yeah.
those cats too. So I had like a mixture of breakers and just straight up dancers, hip hop dancers that I admired back in the day.
Yeah. For me, I was on that same tip too because when breaking died, I got into skateboarding, and then I
Word.
eventually made that transition when I started noticing Yo MTV Raps started to become
Yo.
like big, and then you had like brothers like Def Jeff that had the Soul Brothers.
Yep.
Soul Brothers
Man.
was huge. The Far
Yep.
Side were dancers.
They were dancers. Yep.
Um,
Man.
you
Classic.
remember? You remember the video "Hell of a Hell of a Hell of a Hell of a"? You don't remember "Hell of a"?
Say again?
You ever remember a video called "Hell of a"?
Hell of a. No, no.
It's they got some dancers and they're dancing at the mall.
No.
You
I don't
gotta
think I've
watch
seen
that
that.
video, bro. Yeah.
Yo, send me a link to that.
Okay.
That sounds
I
dope.
want you to check out that link.
Yeah.
You know another thing was kind of interesting to me though too. I wanted to know like what was the transition from Circle of Fire to Soul Shifters? Like I was trying to understand that because I've always looked at you guys as
Mm.
the Circle of Fire. So when it was just like we're
Right.
Soul Shifters, I was like, what happened to Circle of Fire? Is that like something you guys like rebirthed the name or what was going on with that?
No, Circle of Fire is just the original crew member name. And like the original seven members that were down with Circle of Fire. Also, we have Bay Area Circle of Fire too. Shout out to Tsunami, Aqua. So Soul Shift is free B-Boy Freeze idea. So he came
Okay.
up, yeah, he came up with that at around 2004, maybe even a little bit earlier than that. And he wanted to do an offshoot of Circle of Fire, but make it more as a collective of dancers. And
Mm,
but not only just dancers, artists alike. So
mm,
we have our homie Mason Rose, who's a Soul Shifter crew, but he's a photographer. So
okay.
he creates in that manner. Also, my boy Woes, shout out to Woes. He's a painter, artist, and stuff too. So the collective is just basically a collective of artists that come together, and the whole soul shifting kind of energy of that is just shifting your creativity to different forms and expressing
Oh,
in a certain way, in a more freer way. So you're not hindered by
yeah.
rules or anything like that. You're able to create as you want to create. So that was the whole idea behind Soul Shifters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. That's something that I didn't know about though too. Somebody had put a comment up there. They basically said like, what is hip hop for you today?
Ooh, what is hip hop for me
For you
today?
today,
That's a good question. Um,
because this changed though, bro. I ain't gonna
it's
lie.
it changed a lot.
I'm like,
It's
sometimes I'm
changed
just
a
like,
lot.
what? Like, why did it go that way?
Right? Like I appreciate what the young generation is doing and just like, we're the older generation, we're the older heads now, and I give so much love and respect for what's happening today. Especially for breaking and hip hop and stuff too. Like the elevation is just so high now. And like we used to throw down, but our rounds would be really short and quick and then we're done. You know what I'm saying? Like now, right? And so now, it's the level is just so high. Like they finish from beginning to end, and you got to be clean, you got to be precise. The unfortunate thing is for like these jams and stuff. I would love to see more authentic hip hop being played at the battles
I
and stuff.
know.
But right, but it's copyright issues and that whole thing or whatever, the music industry and laws and all that, and that kind of messes up the vibe of it. But
Yeah.
I can still appreciate the elevation of it. And I MC too, I rap too, and I stay in my lane when it comes to that. I'm not trying to be like the younger kids and do the kind of music that
Mhm.
they're doing, and I don't need
Yeah.
to, yeah, right. I don't need to put
Yeah.
myself out there and try to blow myself up. It's just more or less for the heads that want to hear my music. You can go and hear my music and get that vibe and that feel. And to you, it might have a classic feel because of where I come from. So
Okay.
mad respect to all the new generation out there doing their thing. There's a lot of corny stuff too. There was corny stuff back in our day,
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. I
But
remember.
it is what it is.
Yeah. I remember. And then as far as like, I know this topic's always asked, but your thoughts on the Olympics for breaking in 2024?
Right, right.
What's your thought?
You know, it was bound to happen. It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
So, I feel like there's our scene, there's the underground scene, there's the jams, there's gonna be jams, battles, whatnot, and then there's gonna be the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? The Olympics on a mainstream level to where, you know, that's promoted and how that's going to go about. Meaning, like, when they have the battles, you're not going to probably hear James Brown. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to,
No.
you know, hear the
No
classics being
Jesse
played.
Bond, no Mexican.
You know what I'm saying? Like, none of the classic stuff. So that might get a little boring, but I'm also interested. I'm also interested in seeing the elevation of what these kids are going to be doing, and point system scoring and all that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's concerning, but it's also, I saw this happening. I mean, 85, they were breaking for Ronald Reagan trying to get the Olympics back then. So
Yeah, it
it would,
was.
yep, it would have happened then. Now it's gonna happen now. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Do you see some things in the b-boy culture that you feel like that's lacking? Like anything, whether if it's like
oh yeah.
financial, um, what else? Like loyalty, super cruise, like what do you say right now you see that's lacking and breaking?
Well, definitely all the things that you mentioned for sure.
Yeah,
And there's always going to be things lacking in certain cultures and stuff, but in our culture and stuff in hip hop and breaking for sure, it's all those things. Like there's not a lot of crews that rep anymore. There's
I know.
right? There's not enough jams that are jams where it's not just competition based, that you can actually go and get busy in the side circles and then jump in a battle if you want to. Like there's not enough of those, but that I see the resurgence of that coming back. Like I was just at the BC Cipher in Florida and stuff too. That was a dope
Okay.
event. How they curated that. They actually had ciphers. People were vibing. There was after parties, pre parties, and all those things. And that was dope. And just cats over there just getting down. It really brought it back home for me. But
Mhm.
so maybe the younger generation is seeing how it was back in the day, and they want to kind of bring it back to that too. So I'm hoping be more of that.
I kind of wish for today's generation that, like, when they come out to the circle, instead
Yeah,
of just instantly jumping out, pause, and then
yeah,
like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, let
yeah.
the people
Rock it
know,
for you.
like this is
Right,
back into this music and show it, like
right.
really show it,
Mm.
like you know what I'm saying? Let the dude know,
Mm-hmm.
like, what? Let's go. You know
Right,
what I'm saying? But still making
right,
eye contact, like this is me and you. It's a
right.
conversation from me to you, but it's musical. I don't know. I see that in the '90s, it was going on all the time. But I feel like with
Right.
today,
That
I think the
vibe.
music is just so sped up and so fast that everybody just want to attack the floor super fast and they forgot about the music part.
That's right. That's right. I
Yeah.
see a lot of that happening. I see a lot of that. As kids, young kids gunning for the circle, and not taking their time and vibing out to the music and really letting that energy get into you so you can translate it out into the circle that you're, a part of and sharing. I try to see that as my responsibility to be in the
Yeah, your
circles and the ciphers
responsibility.
and to show them like, hey, take your time, vibe out and stuff. I remember Ken Swift did that. He came to Seattle and nobody was going out in a circle. I mean, people were probably scared, like, oh shit, Ken Swift is dancing in our circle and stuff. And then he went out. He was like, "Yo," he was like, "What's up, y'all? Come on, let's go. Let's break. Why y'all waiting to to come out and break?" So
Hmm.
I took that as education. Like, yeah, he wants us to come and vibe with him, so he could feel that vibe in too, and share it around and spread it around. So
Right.
yeah, so I feel that that's my responsibility at times, and I just like vibing with every other cats in the cipher anyway. So
Yeah. I feel though too, since they took a
mhm.
lot of the music out that has like words and you can actually I feel like a lot of the essence has been stripped off the dancing on top because hip hop always has words. Hip hop music always had an
Right,
expression. So I notice when they don't play that music no more and the beat is just
right,
I think that's
right.
what took the musicality off of breaking because back in the days when Souls of Mischief would come on and you heard this is how we
You know what I'm
chill from
saying?
93 till.
Three till it.
You know what I'm saying? People would do poses.
Yo,
This is how we chill from
right,
93.
right,
You know?
right, right.
That's what I feel like
Yo,
is
I miss
missing.
that.
I'm one of those persons though too, like I've learned that you can't bend anybody's arms or you can't make them think the way that we would like for them to think. I think if
Yeah,
anything, like just kind
right,
of still support the scene, and then people will appreciate you when you go out because then they're gonna see the light.
right,
You get what I'm saying?
right.
So when people
Yep,
see you
yep.
rocking, they're gonna be like, "Yo, that's actually what I'm missing." Orb is really he danced to the whole song though, and I think
Mm.
eventually it's gonna start clicking in people's head. I think I need to, because I have people pull me to the side and say, "Hey, Mikey, like show me how when you was the James Brown when you hit the horns and I see him in the corner like doing it, and to me, I think that makes me feel proud that at least like people do still respect that, even though
Right,
it's not a part of the competition. But I think when it's like just like an
right.
after party in an open circle, and you're just going off,
Yep,
I think that's when people really start seeing like, oh, I think people can really
that's
start
it.
seeing the hip hop in you.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, man. That's it, man. You said it. It's like that happens mostly at the jams, when there's ciphers and stuff too, and there's able that time for cats to really get busy and really express and catch the ghost is a term that
Hmm.
our crew came up with, and it's just like really bugging out and getting into the zone of the music, like you said, like even dancing to the lyrics of the music. It's not
Dancing to
enough
the
of that being
lyrics.
played. Yeah, it's not enough of that being
Yeah.
played, and some of it, the music, the beat, the song will dictate how you move in the cipher. You know what I'm saying? Because you see, younger cats or other cats, sometimes they jump
Hmm.
out there and they're just running a marathon as opposed to taking their time and vibing. I mean, I did that back in the day. I was just running a marathon, not really paying attention to the beat at times. Just going, 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 and so I had to slow down.
Yeah,
So,
because yeah, just young minded, just being young minded,
right,
like something to me that I think that we can address though too, and I think it's important while we have the chance. What would you say to young people today that you can give them advice so they won't make the same mistakes that we made like 10, 20 years ago, what would you say to them? Because when I
Right.
was coming up, I was never really
Yeah.
taught about like how to save,
Yeah.
really
Right.
how to focus on education, how to start eating better, you know what I'm saying? Understanding spirituality. It was just break life. It was
Right.
just like wherever they're breaking, that's where I want to
Yep.
go. But us being like,
Right.
the elders now, what good advice can we pass to the younger people to let them know so they don't have to
Mm.
trip up and make the mistakes that we already went through? What would you say?
Man, all those things, man. It's critical thinking and the path that you want to take. Because yeah, me, you both know it ain't just about breaking. It's not just about the movement as itself. Like you said, we got to build ourselves up spiritually, financially. Creating a future for us now more than ever for the younger cats too, because there's money to be made off of this culture and a sense of respect. Out of respect, like once the Olympics go on, there's going to be more opportunities and stuff that open up in these inner cities and around the U.S. So there's great opportunities for people to live off of their art more than ever than our generation did back in the day.
Right.
Me and my crew, we would dance at the club till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe even later, and then philosophize about why we do this. Why we
Okay.
love doing this so much. Like, what's why is this bringing us into this path and making these decisions, and then before you know it, we're traveling overseas and doing what we love, and expressing ourselves with other cultures around the world. So and not to say that was a dream of mine at the beginning, but as it was going on, I was like, oh, okay, I can see that I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. This is holistic. This is something that gives back to me. It's empowering. It's healthy. It's a healthy lifestyle, and to be able to.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, I think it's just a knowledge of self, awareness of self, and then the rest can flow from that.
Yeah. I think there's something I want to share, and probably you can agree with it too. I believe like if you see somebody breaking and they're starting off, or they might not be like on a very high level, I think it's important to go over there and to encourage them and to give them props, to let them know like, you know what, like what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Like keep going though, bro. Like I think it's always important to let the younger generation to give them credit, when they're young, because when they're gonna get older, they're still gonna remember you like the things that you said and that you done. Oh snap! What's up, everybody? Hey, we got to get you on here too, Buckingham. I don't know what happened, or let me see if I can grab him again. All right.